Verbal or life. Um,
Um, okay, before we call in our jury, it has been brought to the court's attention that Mr. Copeland's counsel, Ms. Bumpus, would like to be released. Is that correct, madam? Okay, all right. Sir, Mr. Copeland, is it your desire to release your counsel at this point in time?
She fired.
She's fired? Okay. So do you wish to represent yourself in these particular, in terms of any issues you may have in this particular?
Do I got a choice?
I'm sorry?
Do I got a choice?
Yes, you do.
And what are those?
You can keep your lawyer that you have right now.
I don't want her.
All right. You could certainly hire another lawyer, or the court could appoint you
That's a grown man firing the lawyer. All the judge got to do is let her go. Come on now.
a lawyer.
What I need a lawyer for? What
No,
do I-
it's just the court is just asking you whether it's your choice, sir.
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Ms. Bumpus, did you file an entry of appearance? All right. Did you, under the Uniform Superior Court rules, file a motion to withdraw pursuant to the Uniform Superior Court rules? I mean, I know you give an oral notice, but usually it has to be in writing, and he has 10 days to object. Say again.
I was never his counsel. Attorney Melnick was his counsel, and I was stepping in as a courtesy for judicial efficiency. But if the court's desire for me to file a motion to withdraw,
Well, given the fact that you have represented Mr. Copeland at this point in time, it would seem appropriate that you do need to, in fact, file a formal withdrawal. Even though you didn't enter one, you de facto entered this case by your representation of him, or you telling the court that you did, in fact, represent him. So at this point, I'm not inclined to release you until that's done.
okay, I'll get that done now, Judge.
Okay, all right. And he's got 10 days to go ahead and do that.
Now the question is, why the judge doesn't just release her after he just fired her? He just said, I don't want to be represented by her, and fire her on the spot. But yet the judge just doesn't want to release her. In any case, welcome to Verbal on Life. My name is Noel, battling MS. And we're going to take a look at the YSL court case where one of the guys, as you can see there, try to fire the lawyer, but the judge doesn't want to fire the lawyer. This is some crazy things happening. Like, is this like a corrupt system? Just let her go. Let's keep looking.
So you're still going to have to be here until I have because he gets that particular period of time to go ahead and decide whether or not he'd like to hire a lawyer. That's the whole reason for the 10 days.
No, he doesn't get 10 days. If a witness wants to fire a lawyer, they could just do it on the spot. There's no need for no 10 days. You just got to go.
Well, I don't want to hire no.
Hold on. Not yet. You get that right as a party. Okay.
I do get right.
You do, yes. You get that right to hire a new lawyer. You get the right to do a couple things. One, to decide whether or not you will release her.
Okay.
Okay. Two, you get to decide whether or not you want to get another lawyer to be with you.
Okay.
Okay. Those are the two big things you get a chance to kind of decide. But
he's a witness. What does he need a lawyer for? Especially if he doesn't want one. Like, if you want to represent yourself, whatever happened to that? You could just say, I want to represent myself, sir. Period.
Going to do at this point in time is, since she's representing you, I'm going to make her file a formal notice to withdraw. She's orally told you at this point in time she wants to withdraw, but you're on the stand, you're testifying at this point in time. So I'm not going to let her withdraw at this point.
Well, Your Honor, I just like to say, before he started testifying, I was fired.
Yeah.
I don't know that, ma'am. That's not something that I have noticed or knowledge of. So, you know, that's the whole purpose of the rule, so that we can flesh out all those things. So at this point in time, I'm not inclined to let you go at this point. I'm sorry that you put yourself in this particular situation with you and Mr. Melnick and whatever, but, you know, Mr.
I mean, we're living in some crazy times where a witness doesn't want to have a lawyer and tells the judge to his face, she's fired, let her go. But yet the judge doesn't want to let the lawyer go. What is he talking about? He needs a lawyer. No damn 10 days. Come on now.
Copeland does have rights in this particular circumstance. So file a proper notice to withdraw. I'll give once it's filed, if you file it today, I'll give Mr. Copeland the 10 days, but until such time as I rule upon that and he gets that and gets an opportunity to think about what he'd like to do, I'll go ahead and insist that you remain with us while he's on the stand.
Why is the lawyer being so corrupt and just let her go? This is insane. First, he locked up one of the guys, one of the lawyers, and now he doesn't want to let one of the witnesses go. Insane.
You swear affirm testimony to everybody get reported the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Help.
Look at this other guy.
Let me see if you state your first and last name with the spelling of both, please.
You say that again?
State your first and last name with the spelling of both, please.
Kenneth Copeland.
Mr. Copeland, do me a favor, pull your chair up as close as you can to the microphone and speak directly into it so we can all hear you. So if you could state and spell your first and last name for
It almost feels like the law is just corrupting left and right and everywhere. Why they can't just do things by the law, by the book, how it's supposed to go.
the record, please.
Kenneth Copeland.
Spell it, please.
KENNETHCOPELAND.
Thank you, sir. All right.
And Mr. Copeland, good afternoon. Do you want to be here?
Ma'am,
Do you want to be here?
I'm here.
Okay. Are you going to let me ask you some questions?
Okay.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
Whoa.
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
My man has pled the fifth on that. He doesn't want to say how old he is. We living in some crazy times. A simple question. And this man just pled the fifth. Let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get you to step outside to your headquarters of jury deliberation, please?
All right, sir.
We are living in some crazy times, man. I'm telling you. What's happening in the court? Look at YSL. We are living in crazy times.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our jury has left us. Mr. Copeland, given the fact that you have invoked your Fifth Amendment privilege, but the state has already given you immunity under 24-5-507, this court holds you in willful contempt, and we'll see you on Monday. And we'll see if we can get some more testimony at that point in time. Take him into custody.
Oh, wow. Arrested on the spot. Insane. We are seeing some crazy things happening in the courts nowadays. What else is happening? Atlanta is the place to be. All right, look at Young Thug's attorney going crazy on the judge.
Go ahead.
The way I understand my constitutional obligations, pursuant to the 6th and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution, the corresponding sections of the Georgia Constitution, I'm required to make a full and complete statement to the court.
The judge required this attorney to snitch. If he doesn't snitch, he's going to send him to jail.
For the record, and if God forbid this goes up on appeal for the appellate courts or another tribunal, commission, or administrative body, I was told based upon information and belief that when we arrived at 8:30, 9 o'clock today, he did not come into your courtroom until almost 11:30. And what I found out just recently, this is not waived, is that supposedly in chambers, this honorable court reporter at times, honorable court at times, district attorney or district attorneys from the DA's office, as well as investigators, sheriff deputies, Mr. Copeland and his counsel met together. None of the defense team, to my knowledge, was aware that this was going on. It was told, based upon information belief, that it was told to the district attorneys that Mr. Copeland intended to plead the Fifth Amendment. Then I was told, based upon information belief, that Adrian Love, the lawyer for Mr. Copeland, and this court were together, and Ms. Love made representations that John Melnick supposedly spoke with some attorneys for the accused and wrote an email to Ms. Love, to Adrian Love, stating that Mr. Melnick does not represent the witness, and that Mr. Melnick wrote an email saying F you, and then somehow that email was CC'd to me. That never.
Mr. Joe, can I interrupt you just a second? I'm kind of disturbed because that's ex parte. All that was an ex parte conversation. How did you find out about any of that?
Well, I'm disturbed too, and the reason
I'm asking you a question.
Yo, the judge is flipping out because all the judge wants to know is who snitched, who told this lawyer everything that happened on that secret meeting. Like a judge having a secret meeting, that's insane. And now you got the lawyer calling him out. And when the lawyer calls him out and gives him all this information, right now the judge doesn't care. All the judge cares is who told him. Like, we need you to snitch on who did it.
And find out about it.
I'm going to ask you the question.
Okay.
Scuttle, if you look at SCUDDER versus state, which is 298 Georgia, 438, it's Division 2, 782 Southeast 2D 638, 2016. Our highest court says when a court meets, because Mr. Copeland comes in, meets with the court supposedly made statements, which I assume is somewhat accurate based upon what you just said. We're entitled, Mr. Williams and every other person wrongly charged here is entitled under the Georgia Constitution to be present. That's
So the judge cannot have individual conversation with the prosecutors or with anybody else regarding the guy that's on trial. Like a lawyer for the guy that's on trial, YSL, needs to be present in any conversations about the case or about him. And now the judge is being called out for having a conversation. I think it's called ex parte. For having an ex parte conversation without his lawyer being present. This is crazy. Now, all the judge wants to know is who snitched, who told him. He just wants a name so he can go and fire that guy or girl.
stage.
It's just like when you meet with me and you and Mr. Adams meet with me and others have met with me. It's those are ex parte for a lot of different other reasons, but I will certainly note that for purposes of the record.
Well, I'm going forward. What I was told was that Mr. Copeland said,
And you haven't answered my question yet.
I'm not going to answer that question.
You're not?
No, I will not answer that question.
Why will you not answer that question?
Because I want to make sure that what I say is accurate, and I'm not trying to
No.
get anybody else
I'm
to
asking
say
you, how did you get this
I'm
information?
not telling the court. What I'm saying is based upon information.
Okay, well, listen, if you don't tell me how you got this information, then you and I are going to have some problems.
We can have.
And that's crazy that the judge could pressure an attorney to give him information.
I have problems right now.
Okay, I know. Look, I don't want to know about your problems. Okay, at this point in time, all I'm asking you at this point in time is, how did you come upon this information? Look, if the case gets reviewed, the record's going to be available for our appellate court and for whatever reason. But it's disturbing that somehow you have surreptitiously gotten information in regards to the court's private ex parte conversation.
So a private conversation, how was it possible for this lawyer to know what was spoken about? Like, this is very, very important for the judge to find out who did it, who snitched. And think about it, would you snitch? Comment below. Do you think a lawyer should just give him the name?
With a party. I mean,
A witness who was sworn in Friday, The court's telling, this is what I was told. If this is not true, not true. This court
Mr. Steele,
handed
ask me,
Mr. Copeland.
tell me how you
perjury.
got the information.
Listen, whatever you want to do.
Tell me how you got the information, then we can go ahead.
The judge doesn't even care. All he wants to know is, how did you get the info? Give me the name, and watch the judge get heated and get crazy.
And go forward.
I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is this. I was told, and I hope this concerns the court.
It concerns me that you have proprietary information.
Why is it
or
proprietary?
Information that you should not be having, that was ex parte.
Why?
With a party.
Why?
State of Georgia.
How about the witness? How about Mr. Copeland, who supposedly announced he's not testifying and he'll sit for 2 years, and then supposedly this honorable court,
okay.
Or excuse me, let me rephrase that. This court supposedly said, I can hold you until the end of this trial. Ms. Hilton supposedly said, actually, all of the defendants and then all 26 people are disposed of. If that's true, what this is coercion, witness intimidation, ex parte communications that we have a constitutional right to be present for. So I understand that you're upset towards me, but I don't know what I did.
This is one of the top lawyers, and that's why he makes millions. He is going on a fight and not snitching whoever gave him all that information. So I don't know, for a multi-million-dollar deal, I'll do the same.
Steele, I still want to know, how did you come upon this information? Who told you?
What I want to know is, why wasn't I there? Why,
sir? I'm going to hold you in contempt if you don't tell me who the. Tell me who this
I
information
don't
was
want to
coming
be
from.
held in contempt.
Well,
I'm not
then
answering that question. That's attorney-client privilege information. I am not answering.
Attorney-client privilege. Unless you were in my chambers, that's the only way you can figure out.
I
tell you what. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. If you don't tell me, if you don't tell me who it is, I'm going to put you. I'm going to put you in contempt, because that is not attorney-client privilege.
How corrupt is this judge? My man just gave him 5 minutes, or he's going to hold him in contempt. This is insane. And the attorney is not budging. You got to give credit to that attorney.
Attorney work product privilege. I am not.
How did you get that information supposedly from my chambers? Did somebody tell you?
I'm not. You should have told me.
Boom.
You got 5 minutes. Well,
boom. You should have told me. Ah!
I don't need it. I want to continue. This is what I was told.
I don't need the 5 minutes. Let's go.
Mr. Copeland made statements that he admitted to killing Donovan Thomas and was. Don't take my notes. No.
Wow. Now check it out. He's gonna get arrested. Yo, this is crazy time. How you gonna arrest the attorney after that fight? That was good. All right, I want to see that guy getting arrested. This should be good. Order to jail.
Rapper Young Thug's attorney will have to report to jail this weekend after he was taken into custody and charged with contempt of court. The fiery moment between Brian Steele and the judge is actually going viral now after Steele refused to answer how he heard about a secret meeting between prosecutors, the judge, and a key witness in the YSL trial. Now Steele will have to serve 10 weekends in jail and is requesting to do so in Cobb County with his client, Young Thug.
So he's going to go to jail every weekend for 10 weekends? Wow.
I want to bring in ABC legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer for more on this. Brian, nearly 24 lawyers showed up in protest after Steele was arrested. What's your reaction to the judge's decision here?
I was shocked, appalled. I mean, I've been following this case with Law and Crime, who's been in their court with a camera from day one, and we always knew it was a circus, and now it's like, we know who the clown is, because it's not just a secret meeting between the judge, prosecutor, a witness who was already sworn in and about to testify, but it's the fact that that information was never provided to any defense attorney in any kind of way that they could have represented their client. The judge did something remarkably wrong here, dug his heels in, and I think did something even worse by sending Brian Steele to incarceration come this Friday.
Now, this comes after a key witness pled the fifth in front of the jury and then ended up testifying yesterday. What do you make of that? And how damning is Steele's allegation of a secret meeting between prosecutors, the judge, and that witness to this case?
So it's hard to make heads or tails of it because, like most of the defense attorneys, we don't have any information of substance to tell what happened in that meeting. And that kind of leads to the second part of your question. It's very damning because now a defense attorney gets to go up there and say to an appellate court or whoever's reviewing this case, a person, Mr. Copeland, pled the fifth and wouldn't testify, spent a weekend in jail. And then on Monday, he decided to testify. Now, his memory was a little shoddy. He wasn't giving full answers, but they don't know why he testified. They don't know if he was coerced, if he was pushed, if he was influenced. They don't know what his responses were to the prosecutor and the judge, that they could have meaningfully cross-examined this witness in front of the jury to try to push back and say, this is why he's talking now. It's not because of something nefarious that my client or someone else did. There's so many negative inferences that could amount to a potential appeal or reversal of this case.
Now, if Young Thug is convicted in this RICO case, what does this incident do for his chances on appeal?
I think it increases the chances of a win. This is something that I think most defense attorneys are shocked and appalled about. The fact that you can have a meeting with a judge and a prosecutor. I'm actually shocked that the prosecutor didn't look around the room and say, Judge, we've got to get the defense attorneys in here, because someone's going to make a big stink about this, and this could be reversible error. No one's going to know what we said to this witness to make them to testify, and the jury won't have the opportunity to have this witness's credibility cross-examined by a defense attorney who was present during this meeting. I think this case is ripe for an appeal, and there are plenty of issues before this. Now, this issue seems to be the cherry on top as to why it could be reversal for not just Young Thug, but all defendants, even those that might have been severed from this case.
Now, court resumes today. What are you watching for there?
I think all eyes are on Brian Steele. He knows where he's going to be sleeping Friday night, Saturday night, and be waking up early Monday morning to come to court. How hard is he going to push on other issues? And what is this already contentious relationship between Judge Glanville and Brian Steele going to look like going forward? And also, how are the prosecutors going to step in? They have a case to protect. They're the last ones that want this case reversed. So we're just going to watch how the drama unfolds.
All right, Brian Buckmeyer, thank you. And actor Michael Rainey Jr. speaking out after he says he was apologized, saying he's disgusted by the person's actions.
This is a crazy case. I can't believe lawyers are getting locked up. The judge is arguing with lawyers. I mean, this is like another reality. Let's see what else we got here. Here is the Young Thug. Key witness. What's happening now is crazy.
All right, Mr. Copeland, go ahead and approach the witness stand. Before you sit down, if you would turn and face Deputy Hand and be sworn as a witness.
You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give report of the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help?
Yes.
Maybe see if you state your first and last name with the spelling of both, please.
You say that again?
State your first and last name with the spelling of both, please.
Kenneth Copeland.
Mr. Copeland, do me a favor, pull your chair up as close as you can to the microphone and speak directly into it so we can all hear you. So if you could state and spell your first and last name for the record, please.
Kenneth Copeland.
Spell it, please.
KennethCopeland.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Let's go.
And Mr. Copeland, good afternoon.
I'll
Do you want to
open
be
you.
here?
Ma'am,
Do you want to be here?
I'm here.
Okay. Are you going to let me ask you some questions?
Okay.
I'm here.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get you to step outside to your headquarters of jury deliberation, please? From
All right, for sure.
We saw this. My man said I plead the fifth. He going through some issues.
Tonight with that dramatic new twist in the racketeering trial against Young Thug. The judge holds the rapper's lawyer in contempt. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Russ Spencer.
I'm Courtney Bryant. This after the defense attorney confronted the judge about a private conversation in the judge's chamber. Fox 5's Christopher King joins us to fill us in on what happened here and why. Christopher?
Well, Courtney and Russ, a contentious day in court and a contentious trial that's taken lots of bizarre turns. Young Thug's lawyer told the court he found out about a conversation between the judge, prosecutors, and a star witness for the DA's office. The judge said that defense lawyer was not supposed to be privy to that information.
I asked you how you got it.
A combative exchange between the judge and the defense lawyer
Yeah.
for rapper Young Thug. Judge Earl Glanville repeatedly grilled lawyer Brian Steele on how he got private information from the judge's chamber. Steele refused to divulge his source.
I can't do that. Yes, you can, because I have an idea how you got it. Well, your idea. I have an idea how you got it, but that's improper, sir. Your idea may be wrong, and you're asking me to. Listen, I told you the first time.
Steele on Monday told the court he learned of a conversation between the judge, prosecutors, and Kenneth Copeland, a witness for the DA's office. Steele argued he should have been in that meeting.
I understand that you spoke with a witness outside of our presence.
And whenever, yes, I have an ex parte conversation, which is appropriate.
And you influenced the witness.
The judge says Steele was not supposed to be part of that conversation.
No.
This is so sacrosanct to have a conversation in my chambers parroted to you and others. It is that serious.
Steele challenged the court, claiming a judge should not have contact with a sworn witness.
You're not supposed to have communication with a witness who's been sworn.
Well, I'm going to hold you in contempt.
Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, is on trial on racketeering charges. Steele asked for a mistrial, arguing he cannot adequately represent his client if Steele is not in court.
Mr. Williams does not wish to go forward without me being here. You are removing me against his will, my will. You're taking away his right to counsel.
Judge Glanville denied that motion and had Steele removed from court.
That's crazy. Took away his lawyer, but at the same time, now what? YSL doesn't have a lawyer, so therefore they can't move forward. Crazy.
The judge hit Steele with a maximum sentence, 20 days in jail. Now, Steele can stretch that out over 10 weekends. Court resumes tomorrow morning at 9:30. Russ, Courtney?
Certainly don't see that very often. Christopher, thanks. We spoke with the trial lawyer late tonight after the judge's ruling. Tom Church says the defense attorney had a right to protect his source.
If a judge asks a question, the defense lawyer's got to answer it. At the same time, Mr. Steele had a valid claim for attorney-client privilege. Basically, the information he obtained was confidential. And if he discloses that privileged or confidential information, he could face potential bar sanctions. So what is a defense lawyer to do? But I do think this was a case of overreach because of the unique circumstances.
Church says he thinks the judge went too far and should have allowed more leeway.
We are living in some crazy times, man. I can't believe a judge is breaking the rules and then going up against a lawyer to the point where he locks up the lawyer. And shout out to that lawyer for standing up for his rights and even going to jail. Now he's going to go to jail every weekend for, he said, 10 weekends. I mean, we are living in some crazy times. This is crazy. Let me see if I got a video of him getting arrested. He actually took his tie off and everything in front of everybody. That was hilarious.
Major story with new headlines, new developments, interesting ones, as the attorney for rapper Young Thug in his RICO case was placed in contempt. Cameras rolling as Steele removed his jacket and he was taken into custody. Watch this moment here on Live Now from Fox as we're going to get into what it means in this case there in Atlanta, Georgia. Of course, before storming out of the courtroom, the judge told Steele he had 5 minutes to change his mind or be held in contempt. While the judge returned, Steele once again refused to reveal how he learned about what was discussed in the judge's private chambers.
The judge just wants to fire whoever it was that snitched. He got an idea who snitched, but he doesn't know exactly. He doesn't have a name as to who did it.
Sir, you're straying off the issue.
I'm not.
The issue is how did you get this information?
I understand. Judge, you listen. And listen, I'll do whatever you want.
But snitch.
All right, this is as the judge presiding over this Young Thug lengthy racketeering trial had the musician's attorney in contempt after being confronted about a private conversation reportedly held between the judge, prosecutors, and one of the state's star witnesses. So
that's crazy when you're a defendant and they're arresting your lawyer in front of you. Oh man, how crazy is that?
a very, very interesting moment there as held in contempt and arrested in court, put in custody. So very, very interesting to say the least. For more on this, let's continue on here on Live Now from Fox and talk about what it means in this case. Bring in right now legal affairs journalist Megan Cuniff. Megan, thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. And this feels like a major development, a major deal. Can you kind of sum up what exactly transpired in court today?
It does. This has been such a wild trial and so many twists and turns, but this one really takes the cake here because the latest drama had been a star prosecution witness on Friday pled the fifth. Even though he'd been offered immunity, he was refusing to testify. So he was actually jailed for contempt of court. And prosecutors raised a pretty serious allegation, basically saying that they thought this witness's defense attorney was conspiring with not to represent his client, but to help Young Thug and his co-defendants by getting his client not to testify. That was met with a lot of pushback by the attorney himself and the defense in general. And then this morning, after a weekend in jail, the witness was supposed to be back on the stand this morning, and he'd said that he was going to plead the fifth again. There was an unexpected delay in court. Court doesn't usually start on time, but it also doesn't usually start 2.5 hours late. But there was an unexplained delay, and into the proceedings, Brian Steele reveals that he has heard that the reason for this delay was there was a in-chambers meeting between the prosecutors, the judge, and then Kenneth Copeland, who is the state's witness, regarding his testimony, and that this meeting is what spurred Kenneth Copeland to change his mind and say that, okay, he's going to cooperate and testify today. This was ex-parte communication between the judge and the prosecutor, and of course, the judge is defending it, saying that technically this was on the record. The court reporter was there in chambers, so it's not proper to call it a secret meeting, but the defense was arguing this was totally improper for them not to be notified and included in this meeting. But the judge's big concern was who told Brian Steele about this meeting. I mean, and he demanded.
So like the judge tried to be slick and try to have a ex parte meeting without the defense. And he tried to be slick about it, not tell anybody. But why would the judge do that? The judge knows the law. He's been doing his job for 30 years, so he knows better. It's crazy that he broke the law.
That Steele tell him who told him about these chambers communication, and Steele wouldn't do it. One thing led to another. Now Steele's been held in contempt of court, and right now as we speak, they're talking about this. Steele is represented by Ashley Merchant, who's actually the lawyer who exposed the Fonnie Willis scandal and the Trump case. That's a whole nother story. Yeah. But it's a question of, is he going to be granted bond or is he going to go to jail tonight?
Yeah, this is very, very wild as well. And as you hear these developments about this kind of meeting that was on the record, like you said, the court reporter in the room, does Brian Steele really have a point here that potentially he should have been included in this conversation?
Absolutely. And a lot of attorneys are expressing shock that the prosecution would be meeting with the judge like that. But the judge is saying, hey, this is an issue for the appellate court. The court reporter was there. There's going to be a transcript of this. The appellate court can decide whether the judge was out of bounds or not. And he wants to know who is leaking communication from his chambers.
Appellate. The judge should just recuse himself and give that trial to another judge. This is crazy.
To the defense, and right now he hasn't found out, and that has led to the contempt order against Brian Steele.
Yeah, it is very, very interesting. And like the scenes that we're putting up on the screen is Brian Steele taking off his jacket there, kind of taking off his tie as well. It's a very major display taking part there in this courtroom. And I have to ask, because this trial has been going on for so very long.
Yeah.
Is this extended? Does this kind of continue on with the fact that this is going to be going on for quite some time?
I think it does. I think it highlights all the extraneous things that are going on behind the scenes, all the arguments with the lawyers, and just all the drama that sometimes doesn't even have anything to do with the testimony or relates to it somewhat. But yes, I think we haven't heard the last of this, and this is an example of why this trial is taking so long.
All right, let's get into the witness a little bit, because like you mentioned on Friday, they weren't going to testify after a weekend in jail. They somehow decide to change their mind, potentially return to the stand. How important is Kenneth Copeland in this trial?
He's very important. He's a key witness. He's not one of the people who's taken a cooperative plea agreement. There are a couple people who've testified who are associates of Young Thugs and involved in the gang activity who actually were charged in the case and took plea deals that required their testimony. Kenneth Copeland had other cases somewhat related to this case, but he was not charged in the RICO indictment. But he has been named as the killer of.
Wow. Woody says he doesn't know how old his kids are because he spent so much time in jail. Wow.
Of Donovan Thomas, who was a rival gang leader who was murdered in Atlanta back in 2015. And Donovan Thomas's murder is a big part of the case. And Brian Steele, in his opening statement, actually came out and said that Woody, which is Kenneth Copeland's nickname, is the real killer here. And he's been mentioned untold times throughout testimony as an associate of Young Thugs, as involved in various activities. So prosecutors were really depending on his testimony for sure. They wanted it for sure. And of course, the defense has reasons to cross-examine him and about all these things, but it was absolutely more important for the prosecution to get him on the stand.
Yeah.
This is turning out to be like a movie. Like, are you serious? A 2-year trial? We're talking murder and harassment, lawyers getting fired, lawyers getting arrested, and judges being caught having conversation with the defense with prosecutors without the defense.
A very, very interesting and important witness, but we've had about 80 of them so far. So very, very interesting. I do want to get back into the Brian Steele kind of saga that was taking place today as well. After he was let out of court, the co-counsel said they didn't feel comfortable without Brian. Maybe how much did transpire after Brian Steele was let out of the room that they didn't want to continue the trial without Brian Steele there?
Yeah.
Right. You could tell that prosecutors were hesitant about what was going on. They said they weren't arguing against the contempt. They supported the contempt, but they asked the judge if he could fashion some kind of punishment and remedy for this that allows Steele to still be in the courtroom representing Young Thug during this trial. And you could tell that they have concerns that if they do somehow get a conviction here, and this is an issue, that the convictions could get thrown out because Young Thug's right to counsel was violated through this.
This is, like I said, this is crazy. How are you going to fire a lawyer in the middle of a case or arrest a lawyer in the middle of a case? This is going to get thrown out.
And the judge agreed at one point. He said, well, we can have Mr. Steele put his tie back on. But there's still the issue of he's not lifting the contempt order. Steele is still being held in contempt. They're just also allowing him to work the proceedings.
Yeah, does this maybe open him up to more of a mistrial? Because it feels like something like this can kind of taint what's going on in a trial. Does this maybe open it up? Because there were certainly many requests, several requests made for a mistrial. Does this just add to the list?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's mistrial requests pretty frequently here, and most of that I think is the attorneys knowing that they need to preserve their record for appeal. I'm sure they feel a mistrial is warranted, but I think they understand that 17 months into trial, which we technically are because trial includes jury selection, the judge is not going to be calling a mistrial unless the number of jurors gets below 12 and he just has to. And I mean, he's made it clear that he's not going to do that. So these requests are definitely falling on perhaps not deaf ears, but somebody who is not going to be granting a mistrial at all if it happens. But it definitely heightened the requests, and we had a chorus of mistrial requests this afternoon.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. And Steele did eventually return to the room. And I got to ask, maybe what comes next? What happens tomorrow if this was the drama today?
You know, Kenneth Copeland is back on the stand, and I think we're going to be hearing perhaps some more argument related to the contempt. And then it's always interesting what comes out in his testimony, because while he's a prosecution witness, he's not the most cooperative prosecution witness. So there's some tense exchanges between him and the prosecutor. And, you know, we haven't even gotten to cross-examination yet.
Yeah, that is going to be something to see. And I do have to ask you, because we have you on quite a bit, and you cover some of the most major trials here from Los Angeles and beyond. Maybe can you put this into perspective? How interesting, how wild was today in terms of what happened inside of that courtroom?
I found it very unusual. This was definitely not something I'd seen before. And just having watched the trial for as long as I hadn't watched Brian Steele in court, I thought it was a pretty dramatic moment when the judge was saying, you know, take him into custody, take him into custody. I just thought, wow, you know, I didn't think the trial could go here, but here we are. So it is kind of a question of what are we going to have next here, and what else is coming?
Yeah, what else is coming? As you mentioned, some 17 months into this trial there in Atlanta, those RICO charges as well. All right, Megan, thank you.
Georgia, all this is in Georgia. What is going on? It's like we're living in the Twilight Zone. This judge has been doing his job for 30 years, and this particular case has been going on for 17 months. So he knows better than to break the rules. He should have known better. He should have been going through this. But here we are, to the point where he's looking for a snitch and jailed the attorney for not snitching. Wow. Again, this is like the script of a good movie. They should make a movie out of this. Everything that's happening is already there. All they got to do is write a script that goes along with everything that's happening. So, attorneys being fired, attorneys being arrested. Wow. If you're still watching, welcome to Verbal on Life. My name is Noel. So taking a look at the YSL case in this particular episode. Crazy times. Oh, look.
All right, Mr. Steele, do you have the raw file?
Judge Glam,
Sir.
you allow another moment when Miss Love calls me that I did not do something. They have the exact image of what we got from the jail in Fayette County. That is it. And if I get another false allegation and you do nothing, I'm shocked. I'm appalled at you. I sit here day after day with this false allegation, just machine. I gave the state everything. There's been no disconstruction. There's been no purposeful. I don't care. I don't care. I give over everything. I've done this for 33 years. Never in my life have I seen a trial. I've done 300 appeals in the state of Georgia alone. I've never read a case like this. Judge, I gave them everything I had. I waited. I was at my office till 8. After 8 last night, I waited for their investigator to come by. I handed him an exact copy of thumb drive. They have everything that we got from the Fayette County jail. There's been no deconstruction. There's been no purposeful exclusion. This is not the first time.
He is going off on the judge. Woo.
Okay.
He is worth every dollar.
I apologize that I'm getting tempered, but I've never been treated like this. You talk about professionalism every week. Professionalism is lacking with one lawyer here. It has never been. I don't even like coming to court. I used to love this. I would die for what we do. I used to say, I'm dying. I would die. I couldn't choose a better profession. If I had litigated with Miss Love, I would.
Your Honor, could we strike the
No,
hominem attack?
I'm speaking.
Really, could we strike that?
Okay, hey, everybody, calm down. Everybody, both of you sit. Both of you, please be seated.
Judge, I'm not
Both
done.
of you, please be seated.
You have to do something. You have threatened me with contempt. You have threatened me with jail. If you go back in time, we can just start in voir dire. Jury after jury, you did individual voir dire painfully. Miss Love would come in and say that juror was crying. It was not true. You would say, that's not my recollection after I said it. You did nothing. We start the case.
Mr. Steele.
I asked you, please.
Mr. Steele.
Please, Judge, how would you feel if you were being treated
Mr.
like
Steele.
this?
Mr. Steele.
I'd like to finish.
Mr. Steele.
I gave them everything on that drive, and it's continual abuse.
That lawyer is worth every single dollar. Going up one-on-one with the judge.
Of a prosecutor, of another member of the bar. I don't talk with Miss Love. And that's fine. I like that. But Judge, I'm not going to stand here anymore. I don't care. You can take my bar card.
Mr. Steele, listen.
Wrong, though. And Mr. Williams, you know, to me, this is an innocent man. You talking about, Miss Love said there's a man in the Fulton County jail who shouldn't be there, Mr. Copeland. Mr. Williams shouldn't be in custody. But he's been charged, and we come here for a fair trial. It's been everything but that, according to Miss Love has tried to demonize me. At times, Mr. Adams. At times, Mr. Shaw. Now it's Mr. Melnick. All because she wants to win the case. And now she speaks over people. It's not right. I gave them everything. And by the way, and what I want to tell you, by the way, it's not even the law. If they call that gentleman on direct, I don't have to give them anything before trial. I do it because you asked me to. You said, listen, we got a big case. It's going to take a long time. Give them things. I gave this, by this way, to the state October of 2023. October 2023, that was uploaded, given to the state. I hear about it now, and I wait there and I give them the exact duplicate of what we have. And now there's a false allegation of misconduct. And what I'm telling the court is what I said again. I do not appreciate it. And you have told it in front of the jury that I'm unprofessional. You were wrong. You based that on Miss Love's false representation.
Your Honor, again, the ad hominem attacks, Your Honor. I object, and he should stop talking.
She is talking over him.
I
Miss Love can
object.
try to silence me. I will not be silenced.
But Mr. Steele, here's the thing. Okay, I think that Mr. Steele, please be quiet at this point in time. You made your point. You made your point at this point in time. Both of you.
I will not be silenced.
You please be seated. Both, please be seated, sir. Sir, please be seated.
Whatever you do is fine, but I care about Jeffrey Wood.
Sir, it's obvious. I would expect no less because you're his advocate, you're his champion. But could you all please sit down so I can kind of figure out a solution for this? All right.
Killer.
First, let me just kind of address the obvious.
Woo.
I know that at times tempers have been heated in this particular trial, and they continue to do so. And I know that all of you are being zealous advocates and representing your clients to the best of your ability with zeal and rigor. However, I agree that there should not be ad hominem attacks on anybody or any counsel, and that you all should think and reflect about what you say about your brothers and sisters of the bar. Because we have a large contingent of folks that watch this trial, and I mean, and so
everybody.
Not only for the purposes of this, but it sends not the message I think you want it to send. All right, so I'm going to leave you all to your wise discretion in order to do that, but and I'll take up whatever I need to take up as I see fit. But I know that you all. This has been a long trial. It's very demanding, exacting, and grating on and tiring on all of you. So I ask you to just take a couple of deep breaths and step back and see and kind of look at and just remember that you do represent of who you represent and what you're here for. In terms of the tape or the phone calls from Fayette County, it's the court's suggestion that, and if you want my assistance, I can always, with a proper subpoena, have the raw, whatever it is that whatever you're seeking to get, I could get.
So here we are. The judge has been doing this job as a judge for 30 years. And the attorney just said he was doing it for 33 years. So they really know each other. They know what's up. They know the rules. So this is some crazy things that we're seeing. Everybody breaking the rules left and right. And those two arguing. Let me see if I see the video where Mr. Steele gets arrested and taken out of court.
You all are really getting yourselves cross purposes at this point in time. Sir, I'm telling you, you are at this point in time. You made some things out of nothing. I think that you're on very precarious ground.
See, it's not out of nothing. He was talking to the prosecutors and a witness ex parte by themselves without the defense. That's crazy.
Point in time. So I'm telling you at this point in time, he's in custody. We're going to go ahead and start. You can represent Mr. Williams. That's okay. That's fine. I'll take up the other stuff as needed, but I'm not going to take it up right now.
So he wants a different lawyer now to take up the case. And the other lawyer is fighting like, I am not doing this. Just can throw me into a case like this.
Say again? Sir, you have to.
He said respectfully, I will not do this.
Well, you're gonna have to do the best you can at this point in time, because you don't get to extort the court. That's what you're attempting to do at this point in time, sir. Yes, you are. What you're trying to do is, I'm not going forward if I don't get this. You know, it doesn't work that way, Mr. Adams. And I'm telling you at this point in time, I would just.
But the other lawyer is the main lawyer, and he's on top of the case. He knows everything ins and out and what to say, and give the victim the best representation. So now the judge just wants to throw a different attorney in there who is not going to give him the best representation. See, we live in some crazy times.
Kind of govern yourself accordingly, sir. I'm telling you, as the court, under these particular circumstances, everything will come out as it should. I don't think, sir, I don't have enough information at this point in time to address it. I don't. But I'm telling you at this point in time, there is nothing that was given, said, whatever this morning that.
If there is any accuracy to some of the information that we.
But sir, I don't even know. Your co-counsel won't even tell me who said whatever. Okay. And the challenge.
The judge just wants the co-counselor, Mr. Steele, to snitch and tell him who was it that told the attorney all this information. I need a snitch here. Otherwise, he's not allowed to practice in my court. This is, like I said, man, this is the best movie out there.
I'm having this particular circumstances, that is such a violation of the sacrosanctness of the court's chambers and an ex parte conversation. You're just glossing over that. You're glossing over that in its entirety. No, it's not, sir. That's not what happened.
Boom.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. I'm just telling you, that's not what happened.
Judge, respectfully, we are not.
Shout out to that lawyer for standing his ground and not allowing the judge to bully him. That's crazy.
Obligated to simply accept that there's been no violation. We believe that there has been. And the only
okay, well then no, we're not doing that at this point in time. So you'll have a choice to make. All right, take Mr. Steele into custody, please.
Yo, he's really doing it. He's really doing it. How you gonna take a lawyer to custody in front of the YSL guy? It is really happening.
Your Honor, would the court afford me one moment to confer with counsel regarding the appropriate remedy in this type of
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because the prosecutor now is going to say, hey, this is just going to make the case last longer. What are we doing?
All right.
Yo, Gangster Paradise. It's like a movie. How are you going to arrest the main counselor?
Yes, sir, you certainly may.
Mr. Williams does not wish to go forward without me being here. You are removing me against his will, my will. You're taking away his right to counsel.
Boom.
And you're conducting material parts of this trial without me present, and I can't learn about it by watching online. So for that reason, additionally, I asked for a mistrial. And you denied, but I'd like you to deny our motions for mistrial. You denied the
Boom, mistrial. If you kick me out, this is over. Yo.
other people.
I've denied your motion, but I'll certainly take that under advisement, sir.
Wow. We're watching a real life movie. This is crazy.
We're going to be in recess for the next 5 minutes.
Yes, take 5 minutes to think about your actions, sir. The judge got to think about his action. Wow. And you know what? Mrs. Steele gets another lawyer. And check out the lawyer that he gets to represent him. The best.
Tom Brown's everybody present? Needs to be present? All right. Thank you for your patience, counsels. The court's had an opportunity to reflect, and Mr. Steele, if I could ask you to take the podium, please. as well? Not stand next to your attorneys?
So the judge thought about his actions and everything he just did. And look who's there. Haha. The lawyer
Okay,
got
Ms.
a lawyer.
Merchant, Mr. Steele, and I apologize.
Mr. Susar, Judge.
One more time?
Susar.
What, spell your last name for us?
SUSOR, Sierra, Uniform Sierra, Oscar.
Susar.
You're a good man. Good man. Okay, all right. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, Mr. Susar as well. All right, counsels, I've made a clarification or to the order of contempt. Mr. Steele, I am going to hold you under, still hold you in summary criminal contempt pursuant to OCGA 15-1-3, subpart 3, for your failure to comply with my earlier order today. I'm going to order that you be taken into custody, incarcerated in the Fulton County Jail for no more than 20 days for this contempt. Those 20 days consisting of every weekend for the next 10 weekends. And you'll be.
So it got to be over the weekend because during the week, he got to be there. He got to be in court representing his client.
Reporting to 901 Wright Street Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30318 at 7 p.m. on Fridays. You'll be released on 7 p.m. on Sundays. And it's to commence this Friday, June the 14th at 7 p.m. and not to end until Sunday, August the 18th at 2024, 7 p.m., subject to further order of this court.
That's crazy. A judge, this is how it is. Could judge send you to jail? Witness, lawyer, it doesn't matter who. He could just ask you to go to jail and you got to send jail. That's crazy.
And that will be entered and e-filed. And you may take whatever steps you and your counsel deem appropriate after that. Okay?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I'm going to file a notice of appeal, but for whatever reason that doesn't take, and you don't give a bond, then I'd ask that I can be with Mr. Williams and we work on our case all weekend, for all those weekends. Otherwise, I can't prepare. I speak with Mr. Williams all the time.
That's up to you. And sir, I will, sir, if that comes to pass.
Also, is he going to be inside with Mr. Williams where they could see each other? Like they're going to be held in the same court? I'm sorry, in the same lockup. That would be crazy.
You have my support. I will talk with our sheriff and we may be able to make that work. Okay. If that should occur. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Wow.
All right. Is Miss Counsels, I'm done with this unless you have anything else. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss Merchant and Mr. Susar.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
May we get a copy of that?
Yes. In fact, the clerk is going to file a copy. It's going to be e-filed. It'll be on the e-file system momentarily. You should be able to get a copy of it from there, directly download from there.
And Judge, Ms. Merchant and I will file entries of appearance on behalf of Mr. Steele.
Sure, that would be great. Thank you so much. Okay, all right.
We are watching a real life movie. Insane. That even the attorney had to get a lawyer to represent him. Let me see. The lawyer had to get a lawyer to represent him because this was crazy. All right, this is the last clip I'm going to show.
I have a.
He is. He's right behind you.
Sorry, I have a motion that I need to make outside the presence of Mr. Cole.
All right, you can make it right now. Is he out?
Let me know when you get down to the.
Is Mr. Copeland out?
No, he's upstairs.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, come on down. Don't come in the court. We'll come and get you back.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
The way I understand my constitutional obligations, pursuant to the 6th and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution, the corresponding sections of the Georgia Constitution, I'm required to make a full and complete statement to the court. For the record, and if God forbid this goes up on appeal for the appellate courts or another tribunal, commission, or administrative body, I was told based upon information and belief that when we arrived at 8:30, 9 o'clock today, we did not come into your courtroom until almost 11:30. And what I found out just—
Oh, we saw this. This is where the lawyer is telling the judge that we found out you guys were having conversation in the background without us.
Court reporter at times, honorable court at times, district attorney or district attorneys from the DA's office, as well as investigators, sheriff deputies, Mr. Copeland and his counsel met together. None of the defense team, to my knowledge, was aware that this was going on. It was told, based upon information belief, that it was told to the district attorneys that Mr. Copeland intended to plead the Fifth Amendment. Then I was told, based upon information belief, that Adrian Love, the lawyer for Mr. Copeland and this court, were together, and Ms. Love made representations that John Melnick supposedly spoke with some attorneys for the accused and wrote an email to Ms. Love, to Adrian Love, stating that Mr. Melnick does not represent the witness, and that Mr. Melnick wrote an email saying F you, and then somehow that email was CC'd to me. That never—
Mr. Steele, can I interrupt you just a second?
Yeah, that's a lot of information, man. This man gave him detail, and now the judge is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. Now, let me see Mark Merchant.
Thomas, and don't take my note.
Ashley Merchant comes in. No, he's not here. But that case was insane. We are watching a movie, a real life movie, where we're seeing here the judge is messing up, the attorneys are getting locked up, and we're talking about people going to jail because of murder, selling drugs. It has everything that a movie has. Insane. But comment down below. Welcome to Verbal on Life. My name is Noel, and I'm just shocked by these videos. Comment down below. Let me know what you think, and make sure to hit that like button. I'm trying to grow my channel here, and it takes time. Oh, look at this live video. Let me see this.
And I can rephrase my question.
I'll sustain the question.
Mr. Copeland, approximately how old were you when you took this picture?
I don't know.
Look
Let me back it up a
at
little.
368 Yankee.
Or here's a trial. He actually made it to the stand. I'm going to back it up a little. Here comes the judge.
Starting, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
All rise.
All right, Ms. Hilton, you may continue, madam. Whenever you're ready.
Good afternoon, Mr. Copeland. When we left, I believe that I'm showing you what's been marked as to the 373 Yankee. Looking at what's in front of you as 373 Yankee and what's on the screen, does that appear to be the same image that's in front of you?
It looked the same.
Okay. And is the image on the screen clearer for you than the image that's in front of you?
No, they look the same.
Okay. If I enlarge it, are you able to tell who's in the picture in 373 Yankee by me enlarging the picture on the screen?
No.
No. Now showing 344 Yankee.
All right.
Which one it is?
Is this 348 Yankees? My apologies. Is that 348 Yankees in front of you?
You already showed me that one.
Okay, and before I think you said it was blurry as well.
No, I answered you.
For this one. I want to admit if I have it, thank you so much for correcting that 348 Yankees. You like it, 348 Yankees.
Any objection to states 348 Yankee? All right, states 348 Yankee is admitted. It's already been. I thought it was admitted already.
It could have been.
Okay, I thought it was admitted already. 348 Yankee.
Stacy did a 344 Yankee. Were you able to identify who was in 344 Yankee?
No,
Okay. And why is that?
it's blurry.
That's the one.
Wow. I wonder if that's one of the murderers.
Yes.
Killer. Let me fast forward because this is slow. Let me speed it up.
Give up. Looking at 6 to the 344 Yankees in front of you, is that the same picture as on the computer front?
It looks the same.
If I blow up or facing the 344 Yankee, are you able now to see the individuals that are inside the picture? Yes.
Yep.
Okay, you can tell us who's inside the picture now that it's enlarged.
Excuse me.
Tell us who's in the picture.
Me?
Yes. Who else?
Rapper Lil Boosie. Shannon D. And it look like the other Lil D. I don't know the other guy.
All right, so both of those are in that picture.
That's why shit.
All right. Your Honor, this time to take a light to admit 6 to the 344 Yankee.
Any objection to states 344 Yankee? All right, hearing none, it's admitted. Maybe published as you see fit.
Rapper Little Boozy. What the hell you got to do with
Next,
this?
this is what I'm going to show you. 164, Echo, Golf, Echo Hotel, Echo Juliet, Echo Kilo. I think before I said Echo India, it's actually Echo Lima. Can you flip through those and tell me if you recognize who's in the picture?
That man doesn't want to be there. I mean, who would? Who wants to-
Mr. Steele and Ms. Silton, approach, please.
The court reporter, Mr. Steele. All right. Let's speed this up. It's getting boring.
Because the other picture you showed me, it was me and Philip.
Your Honor, this time to take like 164, Echo Lima's evidence.
I sustain the objection.
What?
Do you remember? You know, this already admitted. These exhibits are already admitted. 164 Echo itself is admitted. Excerpts from 164 Echo.
When was 164 admitted, Christina?
That would have been with Agent Racing.
Let me slow down. This is going super fast. Okay, how about now?
I have Echo 164.
This is like the trial of the century. This YSL trial.
That's you? Is that your Instagram name?
No, my Instagram, Woody is Woody versus Woody.
In 2014, was that your Instagram name?
Not that I recall.
Not that you recall. All right. I want to go to. It's already been admitted as 164 Echo Hotel.
Who we got?
I need to stand up again.
You may have to. You sit down right now. I'll tell you when you can get to stand up.
We're not gonna do the up and down.
Or if you can read it from the side.
Yeah, read it from the side. What the hell?
This picture, Can you see it on that screen next to you, or you need to turn around?
You talking this picture right here?
Yes,
It's me and Young Thug.
all right. And scrolling down and go to the take-in, do you see that same year of 2014?
Metadata.
The same face as the last one?
Yep.
What?
year? Do you see that?
The same thing as the last picture?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I see it.
Okay. Does that say 2014?
Yes, it says the same as the last picture.
All right. And you can scroll down.
Me and my little Woody.
All right. I don't think it's showing up on your side screen. You can turn your chair back this way. And you can sit so long as you can read it. What does the text say?
Me and
Little Woody.
my little, hold up. I don't know what they say. I thought it looked like this.
You need to scroll in a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you able to zoom in more?
It's like it's just a square right there.
Okay. Well, what's next to that?
Woody.
WODDIE, Woody.
Okay. And do you see the same Instagram name?
Yeah, Woody 372.
All right. And again, is that you in the same picture?
What same picture?
Is that you in this picture?
Yeah.
At the top. And they call you Woody, right?
WOODY.
Okay. And what does it say next to that?
ELATT.
Okay. And what's it next to that?
SLATT.
Okay, I know you spelled. Have you heard the term black and flat before?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, is that what that say? Black and flat?
I guess.
All right. Let's go to 164, Echo, Juliet.
I got stood up again.
If you can't see it on the side, yes. If you can see it on the side, then no. Now, who is this in the picture?
That me.
And who's behind you?
They do.
All right. And when you scroll, if you can scroll down. With the taken date, is that still the same year, 2014?
Just like the last picture.
And do you know that to be December 21st, 2014?
It just say 2014.
Is there a dash next to it? What's the number next to 2014?
12,
So what's the number next to that?
21.
All right. Now, scroll down. Are you able to see the text on that page?
Oh, damn, I can move it.
So now you don't have to get over there. What's the text say? No, go down to the bottom. Remember it at the bottom line. The last line.
Crazy.
On this?
Right here. Read that entire line. All of that.
Hey,
Did I say hey?
hey, don't.
Where are you reading it? Where are you reading it?
You said read the line right there.
You said say hey, don't.
How you pronounce that word?
Let's load up. Let's see if you can pronounce it.
Why you gotta demand reading for?
You can control it. Go ahead.
You can-
What you said.
Oh, sir.
Is that clear for you?
No.
Don't follow me. You might get dead in.
Okay. Is there a hashtag after that?
UDIGG.
All right. Now the first word, does that word appear to be hat?
Hat.
Yes.
Is that what they pronounce?
All right. Let's go to State's Exhibit 164 Echo Kilo.
I didn't put no words on there.
Are you saying it's not your Instagram account?
I didn't see no Instagram account on it.
Okay. But you said that you did not type those words.
Not that I know of.
Can you scroll up? Now, Ms. Cole, are you able to Zoom, like you've been doing on that screen?
Yeah, but they're doing it on his own.
What's, are you able to see everything? What's the date on that same taking line that we were talking about before? Yes.
2015.
Okay. If you see a 1 and a 1 next to it,
Yeah.
is that even January 1st, 2015? Do you know?
I guess I don't. If it say that.
What did that
Go
say
down to the bottom on the text. What does it say?
about that action?
Same spot.
Same spot.
Woody 372. About that action.
And again, did you recall posting that picture and typing it? Or writing it? Did you do that?
I don't even recall seeing this picture.
All right, that's fine. Next, can we get 164 Echo Lee?
I'm surprised he's televising this case to everybody to see.
Yes. Who's in the picture?
Me?
And you said who's in the background?
He looked like Young Thug.
All right. And you can scroll into the date again?
To the who?
Not to you.
All right.
That same line, what is the year of that on that taken line?
Wait.
2015.
And what's the number next to 2015?
Oh, when?
And what's the number next to that?
That's it.
Is that for January 6, 2015?
I guess.
Follow what?
Going down to the bottom, what does that say?
Heck, y'all hating ass. Follow, stay where you're at, and everyone else.
All right, go ahead.
Heck, y'all.
Y'all y'all hating.
In any case, y'all just saw the YSL trial. It's insane. But let me know what you think. This is Verbal on Life. My name is Noel. You've been watching and you like what you just saw, go ahead and give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel up to 10,000 subscribers. Those of you on X, thank you so much for watching. But it's all about you, and I hope you enjoyed the show. All right? YSL trial is the trial of the century, in my opinion, or the trial of the year, following the Donald Trump trial. This is what's up. And I'll keep posting, and you'll keep watching, all right? But for now, see you guys in the next video. Let me go upstairs and take care of things. Peace.
Verbal or life.
All right, let me get out of here and take a small break. And we'll be back later. All right. Peace.